How exactly did bureaucracy insert itself into all of our lives globally as a necessary inconvenience? You're lucky. I'm going to break it down for you plain and simple. Share this video, folks. Bureaucracy is not just inefficient. It's the architecture of fraud legitimizing itself. And here's what that means in great detail. Bureaucracy creates layers to dissolve accountability. In the real world, in the living systems of our planet, feedback is immediate. So if you harm the soil, the plants stop growing. And if you overhunt, the animals vanish. Consequence is direct. But bureaucracy builds layers, departments, protocols, roles, titles, so no one is directly responsible for anything. It fragments the chain of consequence, so you can burn a forest, or poison a watershed, or evict a village in a foreign country, and everyone involved gets to say, I was just doing my job. Yep. That's how fraud becomes untraceable. It doesn't hide, it splits itself into harmless pieces, and it translates that harm into procedure. So what would be called destruction in plain speech gets rebranded as policy implementation, resource allocation, or compliance. Logging becomes forest health treatment. Poison becomes integrated pest management. Theft becomes land acquisition. The language of fraud becomes the law of the land, not through violence, but vocabulary. So if you want to steal something big, first invent a form that makes it look like a meeting. It manufactures legitimacy through process, not truth. Bureaucracy doesn't ask, is this right? It asks, was the form submitted correctly? This is critical. The morality of an action is replaced with legitimacy of its procedure. You don't need justice, you just need a permit. You don't need stewardship, you just need a signature. By outsourcing truth to process, it replaces integrity with permission. That's how genocide becomes legal. That's how glyphosate ends up labeled safe. That's how treaties are broken with a stroke of a pen, but no blood on the floor. It outsources responsibility to the collective while centralizing power. And everyone is involved through taxes, representation, votes, but no one is in control. Meanwhile, power is concentrated in invisible nodes, boards, commissions, agencies who are unelected, unreachable, and insulated from consequence. You get the illusion of participation. They get the infrastructure of dominion. It's the perfect con. Consent without control. It justifies itself by solving problems it created. This is the finale. Bureaucracy creates disaster, then expands its reach to manage that disaster. It subsidizes the industry that poisons the land, then it funds the studies, writes the reports, then hires the rangers to monitor the damage. Then it raises your taxes to fund the next round of paperwork. It's a snake eating its own tail, but charging you for the meal. Every act of bureaucratic protection is a reenactment of the original wound with a thicker binder. Bureaucracy is fraud with a name tag. It's theft in slow motion, wrapped in procedure, signed in triplicate, and paid with your obedience. It doesn't serve the people. It doesn't protect the land. It exists to legalize the plunder and anesthetize the witness.